The old house loomed, dark and menacing. Its windows, like hollow eyes, stared out into the night, daring anyone to come closer. It dared you to enter. The door, slightly ajar, seemed to whisper secrets of the past, inviting yet warning. Everyone knew the stories. Whispers of a haunting, tales of shadows moving on their own, of eerie sounds in the dead of night. No one dared to go near, except Max. Max, with his fearless eyes and unyielding spirit. He scoffed at fear. His friends knew it. They had seen him face challenges that would make others tremble. They dared him to enter, to spend one night, alone, in the house that no one else would even approach, in the haunted house. Max laughed. He wouldn't back down, not from a dare, not from anything. He wouldn't back down, not from a dare, not from a house, even one with a spooky reputation. He approached the house, each step echoing in the still night. Not from a house, even one with a spooky reputation. He stood at the threshold, heart pounding but resolve firm. He entered the house. The door creaked shut behind him. The sound echoed, final and foreboding. Darkness enveloped him. A shiver ran down his spine. The air was thick, almost suffocating, filled with the weight of countless untold stories. He felt a presence, watching him, waiting for him. The shadows seemed to move, to breathe, to come alive. He pushed on, deeper into the darkness. Each step was a test of his courage, each breath a challenge to his resolve. The air grew cold, a biting chill that seemed to seep into Max's bones. He could see his breath misting in front of him, a ghostly vapor in the dim light. Max wandered through the house, his footsteps echoing in the silence. The floorboards creaked under his weight, each step a reminder of the house's age and abandonment. Each room was filled with decay. Dust-covered furniture stood as silent witnesses to the passage of time. Cobwebs hung in every corner, like delicate ghostly curtains. He entered a room that seemed untouched for decades. A chill shot through him, more intense than before. It was as if the room itself was alive, breathing out cold air that wrapped around him like icy fingers. A large, ornate mirror hung on the wall, its frame intricately carved with designs that seemed to twist and writhe in the dim light. Its surface was clouded with age, the glass worn and mottled. It looked like it hadn't been cleaned in years, maybe even decades. Max felt inexplicably drawn to it, as if the mirror was calling out to him, whispering secrets only he could hear, like it was calling him. He reached out, his hand trembling slightly. The closer he got, the stronger the pull. His fingers brushed against the cold glass. The mirror shuddered under his touch. The reflection rippled like water disturbed by a stone. Max's heart pounded in his chest. He saw a figure, behind him, in the reflection. It wasn't him. It was something else, something otherworldly. The figure lunged, its movement swift and unnatural, like a predator pouncing on its prey. Max spun around, his heart racing, but there was nothing there. The room was empty, silent, except for his own ragged breathing. He stared back at the mirror, his reflection staring back at him. But something was different. His reflection winked, a slow, deliberate motion that sent a shiver down his spine. Fear gripped Max. He tried to run, but his feet wouldn't move. He was rooted to the spot, frozen in fear. The whispers started, softly at first, then growing louder. They swirled around him, mocking him, threatening him. He couldn't make out the words, but he felt their icy grip. The mirror pulsed with an eerie light. The whispers intensified. Max felt a cold hand on his shoulder. He screamed, but no sound came out. He was trapped, in the house, with the whispers, with the mirror. Suddenly the whispers stopped. Silence. The mirror glowed brighter. Max's reflection stepped out of the mirror. It wasn't a monster, it was a boy. He looked just like Max, but his eyes glowed with an eerie light. "Don't be afraid," the boy said. His voice echoed Max's, but with a haunting quality. "I'm trapped here." "Trapped?" Max stammered. The boy nodded. "This mirror holds me prisoner," he said. "It feeds on fear. It needs your fear to survive." Max's eyes widened in terror. "But I can escape," the boy continued, "if you take my place." He reached out his hand, his eyes pleading yet filled with a sinister glint. The room seemed to grow colder, the shadows lengthening as if they were alive, waiting for the exchange to happen. His touch sent shivers down Max's spine. "Let us switch places," the boy whispered, his voice echoing eerily in the dark room. Max felt a chill run through his body, his heart pounding in his chest. He could feel the boy's desperation, but also his malevolence. Max recoiled. He understood now. The dare, the whispers, the fear, it was all a trap. The boy had been waiting for someone like him, someone curious and brave enough to enter the house. Max's mind raced as he realized the gravity of his situation. He had become the prey. The boy lunged. Max screamed and tried to fight back, but the boy was relentless. The room seemed to close in on them, the darkness becoming almost tangible. Max's strength was fading, his hope dwindling with each passing second. But it was too late. The mirror flashed blindingly white. Max felt a searing pain, as if his very soul was being torn apart. The light was overwhelming, consuming everything in its path. Max's screams echoed through the house, but no one was there to hear them. Then, nothing. Silence returned to the house. The mirror was calm, its surface smooth and unbroken. The room was eerily quiet, as if nothing had happened, but the air was heavy with the sense of something lost, something taken. Max's reflection stared back, but it wasn't Max. It was the boy who had been trapped for so long, now free. Max's eyes, now the boy's, were filled with a dark satisfaction. He smiled. He was free. Max was trapped. Forever. The boy's smile was sinister, a twisted expression of triumph. Max's fate was sealed, his soul imprisoned in the mirror. The house on Elm Street had claimed another victim. Its dark history continued, the whispers of the past echoing through its halls. The cycle of entrapment and escape would go on, as it always had.